I gotta play it again, Mike. Woo woo!
Can't ever go wrong.
Oh, look at the message right there.
If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself, then make a change.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of You're Beautiful. And look, we're twins. Y'all make some noise for my boy Mike Roper in the house. Woo woo! Hey, this is the way, you know, they got those trucks, half-ton, three-quarter ton, 1 ton. What would they call a truck if you and I were sitting in it?
I don't know. Probably like WWE heavyweight champions.
Dude, I'm so glad to see it. Matter of fact, as we're talking, I just see it right there. You know, this weekend is that huge Attila Fest. That is, man, that's going to be a show.
Yeah.
You got like every different culture, every different music going on with that. Woo, woo, but it's also going to be hot.
It's really
so
hot.
Guys like our size, woo!
I'll be praying for it. I'll be on the ball field, so I'll be hot too.
That's where I'm always at, brothers, at the ball fields. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to have Mike on the show. You know, a lot of times when I have guests come on, some people I just meet like 15 minutes ago and say, hey, you want to be on a show? And they come on a show. But you and I, we go way back, brother.
Way back.
Way back.
No gray hair back.
And I got to tell you, man, I am so proud of you. Whatever that you end up sharing throughout the rest of the thing. But when I say that I'm so proud of you, I know that in our lives, you and I have had, I don't want to say some, but a lot of adversity.
Absolutely.
But where I'm so proud of you, dude, is you're always pushing forward. And in the process of you pushing forward, man, I keep seeing you that you're opening up new things.
It's diversification.
I love it. I love that. That's why I always talk about the word diversity.
Right.
You don't have to say how many things you have, but are you still doing the mowing and all?
Oh, yeah. We still have the lawn care, and that diversified into like foreclosure work. And we do what we call trash outs, like that gets foreclosed by the bank and everything's got to be thrown away so they can sell it, put it on the market. So that morphed into that. So we do a lot of that also.
And still snow plowing with the trucks?
And then we have a huge snowplow business. We do 9 of the warehouses down in Pontoon, where I run the zone, and then we also hire my company to do a lot of
so
snow
just
removal.
Starting out with the mow business contributed, allowed a couple more diversity, as we were saying,
exactly.
Right? And then I got to throw a shout out. Hey, listen, anytime somebody wants to bring food or drink to the studio,
love it.
You deserve a shout out. And this is Breeze Brew.
Yep.
But it's not just about Breeze Brew, y'all. I got to turn this around. We'll save that one for later. But I like where you could personalize the cups.
Yes.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So real fast, while I take a sip, and I know we'll get into the podcast, where is this?
Okay, 10 West Ferguson. It's the building most people know downtown Wood River is really into revitalization. That's a Lotus drink, by the way. And I think Danielle made it watermelon, maybe cherry.
I taste watermelon.
Watermelon, okay. I don't know which flavor she grabbed. I just told her to grab a couple.
Thank you, Danielle.
Yeah, Danielle was down at the shop working hard today. So 10 West Ferguson. In my opinion, it's the nicest building on Ferguson Avenue, Wood River. And they're doing a lot, bringing restaurants down there. There's a new barbecue place and a cafe opening kind of catty corner to us in a few weeks.
Is this separate? Because you do coffee also, don't
Yes,
you?
yes. So we do drinks in there. And then we do our tea. Really, we got the building because the t-shirt business, which I also have, outgrew my house.
Right.
So my daughter has a background in coffee. So we did coffee, and then the Lotus drinks for people that don't like coffee or energy. It's a plant-based energy drink, a lot of B12. So it's better for you than like a Monster or whatever.
There's energy in there.
Energy.
Let's go!
Just what we both need more of.
And you're right, because when you brought up coffee, listen, folks, I know we're getting to Jesus, okay? But, you know, when you brought up coffee, I love coffee, okay?
Right.
French vanilla every morning. If I don't have it, I'm cranky, okay? But sometimes I will go to some coffee places, and y'all can make fun of me, okay? I don't know latte, and I don't know the terms. I just want a French vanilla coffee, you know? So if I don't understand the terminology, I'm sure that they'll tell me about it.
The girls there know everything. They teach me stuff all the time.
I'm already loving this already.
Yeah. So yeah, we have the coffee, and then we have pastries, and we have 15 local vendors in there. We had a freeze-dried candy business, and through that we did a lot of farmers markets, met some amazing vendors and artisans and stuff. So some of those we brought into the store. They all have their own little booths there, 15 of them, and that's going really well also.
You know what's awesome is you just said something I absolutely love. It wasn't even the vendors, what have you. Just said meeting people.
Yeah.
And that's what life's about. And even though you and I got history being in the nightclubs and being DJs, you know, one of the things that I have to share on my personal thing, because I don't know when your journey got started, but my journey was about 6 years ago. I got saved. And I got this grin in front of both of us because I know for the both of us, we could look back, you know, the nightlife and all that stuff, feeling like you're bulletproof and just rocking the place. And now I got this relationship with Jesus. And here's what's cool is I could still rock the place, right? I just have a little bit of a different mentality. That's what I was talking about, meeting people.
Right.
You know,
I can still rock the place. I just want to be in bed by 10 p.m.
Oh, don't talk about my 3 a.m. But no, I totally get it. But, you know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to bring something up. I don't even know if you remember this or not, but it's something that always sticked with me. You were DJing in a nightclub back in Wood River, and I had walked in, however you saw me or not, but I just want to tell you thank you and what a difference it made. You're like, and here comes the greatest DJ ever walked in, and Brian Truss. And I'm like, whoa. So I still remember you from that, and I believe, man, there's so many good DJs out there. Like I said, rock the place, but I also like to now say minister.
Right.
Because I could be in a club, there could be alcohol, there could be Sexy Red, Glorilla, whoever you want to call. But the reason why I'm bringing this up from my long-winded story is you get the opportunity to meet people. And I'm not necessarily, I want to use the word improperly when I say minister, but when you meet people, do you really know what they're going through or the adversities or it's a good day or whatever? But number one is just listening to people.
Yeah.
And I like to say that you met these people at the market, you were saying, and now they're collabing with you inside.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell them all the time, it's not my store, it's our store.
Sure.
So if you have an idea or whatever, let me know. Call me anytime.
Right.
I am the sole believer is you surround yourself with great people that makes you better. You know, I don't know everything. That's why I want people, you know, around me. Oh, I brought you a t-shirt, by the way.
Woo!
We make t-shirts.
What you got there?
Hulk Hogan passed away today.
Oh, rest in peace. I did not know that.
So...
Oh, when we come back from the commercial, is that an Omar the 10 size? Is that going to fit, Trust?
Or is that going to be fit the dorky dad?
Woo, hey, when we come back from commercial, which we're not going to right yet, this will be on. I'm going to have to tear that off. Oh, Trust the Mania's going wild! I appreciate that, dude. I got drink, I got shirt. I love this. That's you. That's all good. Hey, so what I want to ask you, this is so cool that the first part of the show, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about you and I and how long we've known each other. We just talked about the vendors and the people you're collaborating with. Those are relationships. Have you always had Jesus in your life as a kid? I mean, is this something? Because again, for me, it wasn't even on the radar as a kid. Matter of fact, going back to that night that you called me out as a good DJ, if you ever would have asked me then, Trust, you're going to have a talk show about Jesus, I'd be like, nah, dude, we're on the, you know.
Right.
So I feel blessed that later in life's better than not. When did that start for you?
We grew up in church, which is no longer there. Actually, it's part of the ghost town of Hartford, Illinois. We grew up in an assembly. Got there. My aunt, uncle, my cousins, my mom, dad, grandparents, everybody went there. Like everybody in my family was married there. It seemed like you know, if everybody was married there, funerals were there, like the whole 9 yards.
Wow.
So yeah, really grew up there. And then I wouldn't say that, you know, I don't honestly know the last time I've been to church.
That's okay.
But that doesn't mean I don't believe and
sure.
things like that. Know how the process works. And at the end of the day, I just try to be a good person and
just
everything
be better
I do.
than we were yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is so kind of cool you say that, because here I've had a show for a year, a podcast here for a year, and I would say if there's 52 weeks in a year, I've probably been to church 4 times.
Right.
So, folks, I'm not apologizing. There's no shame, because one thing I know 100% is relatable between you and I, every weekend we're at the baseball fields.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's not just, folks, it's not just a spring thing for most of us.
It's almost year-round anymore.
It's year-round, absolutely. So, you know, our heart is church. I call mine windshield therapy. A lot of times I'm not even listening to the radio. I'm just, that's when I have my relationship, you know.
Right.
one of these cool things, though, with all these, when I keep saying I'm so proud of you and I keep seeing all these things build up, sometimes you and I text each other very randomly, but just words of inspiration and encouragement. How much of a role, not me texting you, how much of a role has God been through, because when you own a business, trials and tribulations and adversities and all that, how much has that been a focus for you to be able to do all the things that you do?
Well, there's a lot of times things happen and it just doesn't make sense. And I think you can attribute it to being something like that, somebody bigger. I mean, you could go into my history. There's no reason that, and I say this all the time to everybody, and I'm not shy about it. There's no reason I'm not in prison the rest of my life or dead. So there has to be some bigger purpose, and I've been searching for that. And that's why I diversify and do so many things, because I'm constantly trying to figure out, okay, why did I get spared? Like, why me? So I'm always trying to figure out what I can do, who I can help, whatever. So that's part of what's instilled in me at this point.
Brother, I absolutely love that. Yeah. It's not a matter of looking back.
Right.
It's all about moving forward. Mm-hmm. I've always said that, the windshield's way bigger than the rear view mirror. And it's just not you. We all have a past. We all have a history. We all fall short. Yeah. We all know that, we all have a different walk, but I'd like to believe when you have this relationship, we all know we want to end up at the same spot.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So, hey, I am crazy ready to get in this Hulkamania shirt. So I'm going to go to a commercial. Hey, folks, it's not just about the commercials. These folks pay money to support RiverBender Radio. So if there's something along one of these commercials that you could utilize for yourself, we encourage you to call one of our fantastic sponsors here. So we'll be right back.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof, because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina, when you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off Dog Walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Dibs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cleanouts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away.
Brother, I gotta tell you, just the instrumental, what I know the lyrics are the most important. Look at me. I still can't figure out how to work this screen. But hello, Truss. Look, I told you I'm still learning how to hit buttons.
Right.
You see that?
It's better when you had me cut out. I got a face for radio.
Oh, I just got onto that. So when I typed this on I'll Fly Away, there was so many different people who have done this song. Right. Tell me about the song, because
you know how you remember the weirdest things? Like, I can tell you that hymn was on page 255 in the back pew at Hartford Assembly of God. Like, I remember the weirdest. I can't tell you what I wore yesterday unless it's laying on my floor in my bedroom. Right. But I can tell you that hymnal page because it was always sang by Pastor Bertram at our church, and my grandma sang it so loud. And God rest her soul, she was the worst singer in the world. but she was heard. She sang it with conviction. And so, you know, I just remember that's a song that brings me back to a good place in childhood and whatnot. So I picked that one.
Dude, I absolutely love that. And here's what's cool. When guests come on the show, I learn new songs.
Oh, yeah.
I learn new scripture. Now, off the topic for 1 second. Hulkamania's running wild, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. That was a guy that I watched when I was a kid.
Absolutely, everybody did.
Everybody did. I mean, that kind of set the legend, set the pace, you know? So it really sounds cool, because when you talk about this Hartford church, that family, I mean, you're talking deaths, you're talking church, you're talking
everything. The
entire family was there, and it's kind of sad you said it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what's cool? There might be some sadness, but if you're telling me that you could tell me what page this was on.
I'm 49. I can't remember anything. Like, I know my mom. I don't know my mom's phone number without looking up her name, but I can tell you what page that was on in the church hymnal, just because.
No, and I love it.
Was just a place that you remember those things.
It takes you back to a happy place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moments and memories, dude. I preach it all the time. Hey, since we're on church, I want to hop right onto it. You want to read that for me?
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future.
Tell me about that. I know their words, and folks, like I said, Mike read it, Jeremiah 29:11. Translate that on how that works for you.
So, in all transparency, I looked up. Okay, you asked me to bring a scripture, whatever, and everyone I came with was like based, like John 3:16 and those. So I called my cousins who are still awesome. I have the best cousins in the world, and I said, hey, I asked both my cousins, give me a scripture you think, and so they gave that to me, and I read it, and I think I gave you two of them, but that was one of them, and I said, hey, one, and so I read it, and and again, that made me kind of reflect a little bit on it. I didn't know that before yesterday. I didn't know that scripture. I'm not gonna lie to you,
but that's okay.
I was like, cool, I like that. My cousin knows my journey in life and everything, and so she thought that was a really good reflection, you know, comparing my life to that scripture.
Well, you know, one of the words that sticks out, there's a lot of good words in the scripture, but one of my favorite words right there is hope.
Yeah.
I've actually had a guest on the show, and she lives on the main road, and on her garage, hope.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's a strong word.
It's a super strong word, and it's so cool that you said that your cousin shared that with you, because the other word that I saw in there was prosper.
Right.
So all this diversity that you're doing, and you're opening up these business and different things, there's a lot of stress involved. There's a lot of planning involved. And just because sometimes you might have a great idea doesn't mean that's essentially, you know, going to work out, whether it be demographics, economy, or whatever.
Right.
So the hopes, the dreams, the visions, and, you know, we wish prosperity amongst it.
I had to call them. I'm the black sheep of the family.
It's okay,
so,
brother.
but I had to call them and say, hey, I need help here. I don't want to come in here and throw out Jesus wept just because that was my favorite as a kid. You know why? It was the shortest. You know, if I had to remember one, I wanted to be short. But I wanted something that kind of reflected me, and they both came back to me with two great scriptures, and I read and reflected a little on them yesterday. It was kind of cool.
Well, I just want to tell you how responsible that is of you. In my opinion, what I'm getting at is, you knew you were coming on the podcast, meaning you put thought into it.
Yeah.
So you reached out to your cousins, and they knew it and shared with you. And folks, I want to encourage you, if you don't have those cousins or family that can help you with today's technology, you could talk to your phone and just say, hey, I'm kind of going through this, whatever you may be going through in life. You
could probably Google it.
Yeah, what scripture matches the emotions and the feelings that I'm going through? And then you look at it. Now, a lot of times, being honest, I'll look at scripture but not necessarily understand it.
Right.
But a lot of times when you do AI or Google these things, it'll kind of give you that, for me, that naive Brian Trust understand on it. And then you can kind of really appreciate, just like you said yesterday, you just kind of got that one. You're like, man, that's powerful. That's a great representation for me, right?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and hit that second one while we're on it.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, it's all you, brother. Ephesians 1:7.
Ephesians 1:7. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins in accordance with the riches of God's grace.
Elaborate for me, brother. What does that do for you?
It just lets you know that no matter how much you've screwed up, this isn't the King James version. This is the Mike Rober version.
No
matter how much you screwed up, that you still can. I mean, it's never like you've screwed up so bad that you can't right the ship. And there is forgiveness there.
Grace, God's grace is amazing. I can't tell you, and here I'm going through adversity right now. And, you know, the old Brian, I'd want to have my chest out. I'd want to be Mr. Powerful. But because of God's grace, you know, kind of like what the scriptures are saying right there. Hey, it's okay. We live this flesh life. We're all flawed. We all fall short. But instead of finger pointing, let's just, because of his God's grace,
right?
How can we improve, you know?
Yeah.
I need to go right back to that one more time. Make sure I just want to see. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins in accordance with God's grace. Dude, I absolutely love that. I got to get back to the camera right here.
And even with today's technology, I can give you my cousin's phone number. Everybody can reach out to them.
Well, you know, and here, I do like to laugh about that. It is kind of cool. Mostly everybody who's come on the show. Hey, if you need prayer, call me. Yeah, and they don't even know who's calling them, you know?
Right.
That's why I love to have this podcast, because at any given time, we're talking about meeting new people. What if you're the light to somebody who needs it at that very first time? We always talk about this. For example, Mike, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
You're great, right? Fantastic. Because that's a trained response. What if we just said, well, truth be told, Mike, things aren't really that good? Because that's just a trained response to say, oh, everything's good. But, man, really? Does anybody want to say, hey, let me stop you from your glorious day and tell you about all the problems I got, you know? So a lot of times just in conversation, meeting new people or somebody you already know, just being a light in their lives. And you've gotten those texts from me. It's not a birthday. It's not an anniversary. I just like to send random stuff and hope at the right time, at the right moment, that lifted somebody up, you know?
And you did it. You've done it a lot, and I hope that I've reciprocated. It's nowhere near where you have, but like things will be going really good, and people will comment on Facebook and whatever, and then I'll get a text from you like, "Hey man, I see you out there killing it, man. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work." Like that means a lot, because you know where I was, where I came from, what I'm trying to do. So that means just as much as anything else. So
well, I appreciate.
And that's why I saw some of the stuff going on lately in your life, and I just was going to reach out and just let you know. I don't know what I can do to help. Just let you know that, hey, if you need to talk to someone about it or just whatever, I'm here. Let's talk. And
in return, it's not a matter of how many times, like you said at that moment, just you reaching out was beautiful. You may not have the answers. I may not have the answers. But that's what I believe by having the Holy Spirit in us, that regardless of what version you may know that's going on, it's not about the version, it's about the person. And you just want to, you know, lift one another up and support. And I got to tell you, brother, I appreciate you for that.
No problem.
Just like when you get those texts. I've said it on the air before. Sometimes I feel like selfish gratification. And, you know, it's like social media today. Do we post things to get the likes and the hearts? We do. We're guilty of it, you know. But when I send those texts, there's meaning. When you reached out to me, you know, there's meaning. But man, my goodness, if you reply, it's like, man, that was awesome, you know. So it kind of helps both parties. So I've said it before, ladies and gentlemen, if I can encourage you, it doesn't have to be an anniversary. It doesn't have to be a birthday. You might be thinking of somebody for any random reason, and whatever that reason may be, stop. Because that name, that vision came to your head, just take a moment.
Yeah.
Throw them a text. If you're not sure what to say what might be on your mind to your chat GPT. Let them translate it for you. Copy, paste it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're sending a heartfelt message.
Yeah.
Because it always goes back to, it's not always about the gift, it's the thought.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Dude, you're getting me wound up. I feel like I'm...
A couple of years ago, it was my dad's birthday, and I put out on my Facebook, which I have a pretty big reach, and I told everybody to just text my... I didn't know what to do for his birthday. I mean, at this point in life, he has everything and done pretty much almost everything he wants to do. And so I just asked all my friends and followers to text my dad happy birthday. And he said he finally threw his phone and just didn't want it was going off all day long.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
So they still laugh about that.
Well, here, and if I can, you just said you have this great outreach, right? Mm-hmm. I hope that because of you, not because of me, people get tired of talking to trust or seeing trust. I'm like that Kevin Hart that's all over the place,
right.
Just taller Kevin. But how cool would that be that you just share? I mean, like I said, I get to see all the things that you're doing, all the different diversities, and you're open. But if we can continue, whether it's silent representation, what I mean by that, just throw a message out there.
Right.
Because in the flesh life, a lot of us are chameleons. Like, we're hanging out with the guys. We don't necessarily want them to know that we love Jesus. Sometimes, I don't want to say we're embarrassed about it. That's why I call it silent representation. But I definitely think, not only with the adversity that I'm going through, which is minimal compared to what a lot of things are going through, let's put some positivity back in life. Let's get Jesus back on the map.
I don't know if you go, and I always get busy, and I again, it's just a bunch of excuses. A men's group. Corey,
yes.
Do you go to that? It's like a Wednesday night. Corey Ten has been bugging me at the gym, and Chris Johnson, a couple guys that I think good things of, and they're like, go. We don't judge. You can come in workout clothes, stinky. It's not like formal church. It's a men's group. I need to go. I've never been, and I've said for a couple years I wanted to go.
That particular group, I have been. I absolutely love that group. It was actually Corey Tennant, Tyler. There's so many great... Matter of fact, not only do I talk about that men's group on this podcast, I talk about some of the things, some of the content I talk about, and I'll just say it again real fast. We had a gentleman in there who was in prison. And, in the men's group... it's everything, man. There's pool tables, foosball. We watch movies. It's fellowship, okay? Right. What I love about that men's group, it's also accountability. Mm-hmm. Huge word for me. But anyways, what I'm getting at is, so this one guy spoke up and he goes, man, I think everybody should go to prison. Now, I've never been and I don't want to go, okay? Right. But I'm like, where are you going at with this? And what I really loved about when he brought that up, a lot of times in our everyday life, we take it for granted. Okay, so just the ability to walk and see roses or whatever, like a driver's license. That's not an obligation. That's a privilege, right? So he says when you're in prison, you're stripped down to nothing. When you're in prison, you could work out or you can get to learn the word. And when everything's taken away from you, humbleness, you just appreciate things. Like I said, I'm probably butchering it, but I really appreciate him speaking up on it because we do take a lot of things for granted. And I love, you beat me to the show and you said, man, early is the way I roll. I'm never late to anything, right?
I don't go anywhere with my girlfriend because she's late for everything. And I can't stand
Calling you out, Jennifer.
I can't stand being late. So we drive separate most of the time because she is always fashionably late. As we always joke, she's going to be late to her own funeral. Like, she's late for everything. It drives me nuts. I am just not wired that way.
This is recording, Jen, so you could use this against him later down the road. Hey, I know I got a little off topic, but you did bring something up, so I kind of want to talk about men's group. Ladies and gentlemen, I just shared with you that I'm not always in church. Mike's not always in church. When you have the Holy Spirit in you, church is always inside of you, okay? We talk about the people who have the fear, the anxiety. You mentioned this earlier about the process, okay? The process is difficult, but I will tell you, both Corey and Tyler, when they invited me to men's group, matter of fact, Corey invited me to church, I loved what he said. He said, I'll meet you in the parking lot. Because even though I'm a confident individual, I've been invited to other churches that I've never been to. Yeah. And I would park in the parking lot and I would wait to see if anybody I knew was walking. And I tell you that as I'm one of the most, I feel confident people, I'm not afraid of people, right. So anyways, why I bring this up is this men's group. I encourage you to go. And anybody else out there listening, how inviting. You have every walk of life in there. And it doesn't matter what walk they did when you get there, they're all on the same mission. They're all on the same focus of moving forward. That's, throw adversity. Adversity is a past tense word. How can we move forward. So I appreciate you bringing up that men's group.
I want to go. I just like the camaraderie. I mean, former sports player in high school and military, and and that's one of the reasons I love umpire, man. Some of my umpire buddies are my best friends. So we talk baseball, we talk life, we talk when bad things happen, whatever it is. So the camaraderie of it is important to me.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys have actually turned on people to come on the show.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty awesome. Hey, guys, I know I'm getting a little carried away. Just got a little bit of a beat for me to go to another commercial, so we'll be right back.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Ready for fantastic deals? Head to Village Dispensary, where every day is a celebration. Start your week with 25% off dog walker pre-rolls on Monday. Tuesday, enjoy 25% off Divs gummies. On Wednesday, enjoy 30% off Nevada pens. On Thursday, it's 30% off CQ sodas, margaritas, and more. Friday, enjoy 3.5 grams of Megatron by NGW and Cleanouts number 4 by Paul Bunyan for $25. Visit villagedispo.com and shop now.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
When I'm broken down inside and there's nowhere else to hide, I need a place where I feel known. Can someone help me? Then I hear you reply, bringing teardrops to my eyes.
You heard this before? You ever heard of Forrest Frank?
I'm not alone. Oh Lord, I need you now more than ever.
Kind of has a Michael Bublé sound to it.
I searched the world to my
So it's so cool for me to play that. I'll send that to you after the podcast. But during the commercial break, you and I were talking about baseball.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk baseball. You guys know I love baseball.
I love it a little bit.
For those that don't know, not only is Mike an umpire, but I gotta let you take over here. You're not just an umpire. If I remember right on Facebook, didn't I just see that you reached another level certification?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a clinician now, like training like high school umpires on the mechanics and things like that.
Dude, that's rock star. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was in Branson here recently at that Ballparks of America, and not only was that guy umpiring as you think that the season ending, he's like, nah, dude, next month I'm going to New York.
Yeah,
and he was
Cooperstown.
telling me, yeah, that's exactly right. He was going to Cooperstown. So traveling in baseball is awesome because, again, so much content when I'm on my shows will come from where were we at this past weekend and who did we run into and so many different things. But that was kind of cool. I'm glad you brought up baseball That was at Grizzly Stadium.
Yeah, GCS.
Yeah, and Blake's team took the championships.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. Moments of, don't be wrong. When you're on the turf and you feel like it's 100 outside and you're on the turf,
I'll be there this afternoon.
Yes.
I'm leaving here going load my. I got 2 at SIU this afternoon. So yeah, I get
and
it.
you would think, I don't want him to hit me because he's bigger than me, but you would think us big guys would shed a few pounds on that heat.
No.
That is something, dude.
It's like a scrambled egg. It is so high. The heat's coming down, the heat's coming up. You're like a scrambled egg. There's nowhere to hide.
He's not lying about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I got to get focused right back here again. Hey, let me do this. Normally I do this at the end of the show. I see that we've got some time. Mike, if people are watching because you happen to be on the show today, and then other people, I don't even know if I got, other than my mom out in Florida, hi mom, and a few
I love
others
your
out
mom.
there.
I ain't seen her forever.
She's living it up in the villages. I am so happy for her. Linda, if you're listening and watching, the last I heard from you, you're in the hospital. I'm praying for a speedy recovery. There's so many birthdays and different things that I want to go there with. But Mike, I think that I don't want to say I know that you're a very influential person. We don't have to talk about my past. We don't have to talk about your past. But because you come across so many people out there, is there anything that you could share with the people watching and listening why you feel it's so important that they have Jesus in their life?
It can't hurt. I just think you share your story with everybody and something with it can resonate. And you can put all that back into going to a church or just being a good person. I think it starts there. So, I'm just a kid that grew up in East Alton, no matter where I moved or what I lived or whatever. I grew up on George Street. My parents still live there. And they were union workers, and I've never changed who I am. Like, I feel like I can talk to the homeless guy walking down the street, or I could talk to a lawyer or a doctor, and I don't talk down to anybody. I treat everybody like they're the janitor of the place or the CEO. I think it's just how you treat people and how you act. I don't shy away from my story. I get messages all the time like, man, I can't believe you would tell people you're sober, and I think April will be 13 years.
That's beautiful,
but I don't mind sharing that because somebody out there needs to see it. Maybe they're having that bad day and they need to figure out, man, this guy owns 3 businesses. And I'm not saying I got the world figured out by any means. Every day is a struggle on some level. But I think I do well. And it all comes from just making good choices. Surround myself with good people.
Listen, I love it. There's so many people I have on the show just here recently. An individual spent most of his life in prison, and because he was in prison, it was so difficult for him to get a job. Again, we were talking about going back to the guy who said that everyone should come from prison because it's not an equal playing field.
Right.
That track record, even though you're moving forward and you've been saved and you're a better person, there's an unfortunateness that track record still follows you. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to believe, and I'm not going to say I believe because he said it. It's because he's got the Holy Spirit in him and the willpower that he wasn't going to let that paper ruin him from moving forward, and now he owns his own business.
Right.
He was in a position where he couldn't even work for the man.
Yeah.
Because the track record followed him. But through prayer, I even want to use the word abundance because there's so many different ways that you can go with that. I'm so proud to tell you that he's got his own business right now. And not only does he have his own business, he's expanding.
Right.
Isn't that awesome, dude?
That is awesome. Love to hear that.
Awesome.
And that's why I put it out there for people to, I get messages all the time like, hey, like seeing where you were and where you've come and whatever has really helped me and whatever. And I don't do it for that reason, but if my story or me putting it out there, I got big enough shoulders. I don't care what people think about me. They're going to like me or hate me or whatever. Like I tell people, anybody that starts chirping on the ball field, I've been married twice. There's nothing you can say is going to hurt my feelings. So.
Well, you're talking. Go. Can you read what they put on the back of this cup?
Be so good they can't ignore you.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what you're kind of sharing without going into detail, is a testimony.
Yeah.
And sometimes people need to hear your testimony because a lot of times on the outside looking in, when you own multiple businesses or if you own one, people are like, "Oh, he's so lucky," or he's rolling this way, and by you sharing a testimony, you can say, man, nah, it's not like that.
Right.
I came from this. This is what it took for me to get there. And then, you're rolling so forward that you want to continue to diversify, that your testimony and that positivity might inspire that person,
Right.
to make changes in their life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
For
you agree?
Yeah. Working with my mom, because we've done the candy together in the store. We've had a lot of deep conversations, in the last couple of years. It's been awesome for me to hear like her, because she's asked me like, "Hey, where did I go wrong?" And I was like, "Holy, I never thought about that way."
From mom asking you,
Yeah,
saying,
she's like, "Hey,
wow.
for you to start down that path of drinking and doing, where did I go wrong? I never thought about that." And I was like, "You didn't do nothing. I was just an idiot. Like, unfortunately, you just sometimes make bad choices." But I was like, "You didn't do nothing," and I'd never thought about that angle. And that just happened maybe a year ago. And she's like, "Where did I go wrong? Did I do something wrong?" And I was like, "No," and I couldn't believe it. That it even, it never occurred to me that was in her
thought
head.
process,
yeah,
right?
Like, I knew I was an idiot and I need to fix myself, but I didn't realize that it also affected everybody around me. My daughter, I lost a lot of years with my daughter when I should have been a better dad. And you can't make that back up. So all I can do is try to do the best I can now every day, and that's what I do.
Bro, if you see me deep in thought process, and here I do. I talked to my mom. My dad had passed away. I feel very fortunate that, right before he passed away, I did get to spend some time with him. I do talk to mom here and there, and that was just a really cool story, because sometimes we just live life and it's our own life,
Right.
and we're living it. But until you look back and reflect, like, look at the sacrifices mom made for me. Look at,
Right.
And they don't like hold that over your shoulder because they just want better for you than what they had. And that's,
Right.
I'd like to believe that, that's with all parents, but bro, that hit me pretty deep.
Yeah, it did. And then I thought, man, my parents, like I said, my mom worked at Olin forever, and my dad at Laclede and ended up at Olin. Like, they're great people. And then I was like, man, like, I hope other people ain't out there thinking my mom and dad did a bad job raising me and I was an idiot. No, I was just an idiot. I just made some bad choices and got hooked up in the wrong crowd and, whatever. So, yeah, I told her 100 times, and I'm sure she's probably watching this. And
Hey, Mom.
So I tell her all the time, like, no, not at all. You did a great job raising me, that I know. I mean, I'm not Dr. Phil or anything, but
Right.
I don't recall anything of my, past or my upbringing. They raised me right.
Well, I'm glad you said bad decisions and not poor decisions. Anyways,
That's a hot topic.
but moving forward, so this is cool. You get to work with mom,
Love it.
and not only it's always been mom, but again, this is still powerful for me. Like, now, you guys, I'd like to believe with a question like that, what a great relationship of not just mom, here, guys, I know I'm rambling, but that one stumped me. I
Yeah.
just think that's
It did me too.
That's pretty darn
it stopped
cool.
me in my tracks, and I'm like you. I'm not taken aback very often. I have words, and it like hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, I never thought about it from that angle.
because when we do things and we act out, we're guilty. We're the ones who lashed out and we acted out, not sometimes taking in consideration
Right.
of how that might have affected others. And
I mean, we've tricked everybody into thinking we have a business, or my mom, Danielle, and my daughter. They think we're running a business. It's just I'm close to people that are close to me every day, so I can't lose.
no, dude,
You know what I mean? Like,
I
hey,
love
you want
that.
to come buy a cup of coffee? Great. But if you don't, I get to hang out with my mom. I see her every day. And there was times where, life, you just get busy. You don't see them. My daughter, she's super active in college and stuff. So she is there on the weekends. So I make a point to go in and see her. We live in the same house and don't even see each other a lot of times.
no, because life's very consuming these
Yeah.
days. People are involved. Everyone's
So
trying
they
to
think
move
they're
forward.
going to work and helping run a business. I just trick them into hanging out with me every day.
Hashtag family / business.
Yeah.
But really the best of both worlds right
Yeah.
there. And I also like to believe this is cool because here the last couple of days I've been hanging out in the bar, and obviously, I like to talk.
Yeah.
But dude, I'm meeting people from all different places, and you just start chatting with them, and it's, sometimes it's chatting, but a lot of times it's almost ministering to some people because they're going through things. I don't know if that's why they're in the bar or not, or just checking out the
You
vibe.
don't know
or,
why somebody was put in your path,
but just taking a moment to talk to people. So in your case, your mom, your daughter, and people that you love, but even with strangers, because people are coming in and doing business with you, man, just sometimes just taking a moment to listen to what they have to say. That might be more than what they got when they're going back from the home front.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah, a lady
love that.
came in last week. I don't want to mention her name, but I've known this lady for like 15 years, and we've spoken, said hi, very few words, and she came back. She's like, I just want you to know that you're really good for down here and for downtown, whatever, and it's awesome that you're here. And I was like, that was cool. Like coming from her
Sure.
and knowing that, like I've never heard her say any words. She said that. So I was like, cool. Like I hope that somehow my story helps somebody. I'm down there. I'll talk to the wall if it'll listen, so.
Well, I love talking to the wall because it never talks back,
Right.
But guys, I'm loving this. When you go back, rewatch this or whatever, I'm joined here with Mike Roper, a very long friend. Both of us have had trials and tribulations, and what I absolutely love is that you pay it forward.
Who do you think's DJ'd more weddings, you or me?
I'm gonna say you. I'm gonna say you.
Somebody asked me that the other day.
Yeah, I don't want to say who the better DJ is.
Well, we know that.
I would say equal, because number one thing is I know that when we did it, it was special for us. Not only was it special because it's a wedding reception, but I've seen you with the hair and the different things. What separates a DJ and an entertainer. A DJ really just pushes buttons.
Right.
I know for a fact that we entertained.
Oh, absolutely.
And so
we were just on a cruise ship a month or so ago, and I got called up on the stage for music trivia, and I was in my element. I was like, yes, all those weddings of playing these songs,
paid off.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
I knew all the words and everything. So yeah, it definitely paid off.
So I'm going to put us, you're here, and I'm here,
All right.
and I'm just glad to be right there with you,
go.
brother.
That's good company.
I love it. So, Mike, as we're getting close, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go back to one final commercial, and then I'm pretty excited on how we're going to wrap up. So we'll be right back.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the RiverBend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
Why you ever chose me has always been a mystery. All my life I've been told I belong at the end of the line with all the other not quite, with all the never get it right. But it turns out they're the ones you were looking for all this time. 'Cause I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody
about somebody who saved my soul. And that's what this show's about, okay? You don't have to have a title. I just like to tell people I'm a nobody, and I'm trying to tell everybody about the impact that when I got to have a relationship with Jesus, what it's done for me. That's why I love that song. So sometimes, matter of fact, going back to DJing, dude, I've embarrassed myself. Let's go to dollar dances, okay? I'm just a little bit older than you, but you go back to like Chicago and Air Supply and Journey. I thought those were the money, dollar dance songs, right? So I would play them like ballads or whatever. Then it wasn't until like years later I realized, dude, that song was about cheating. And but just because, it was Chicago and Air Supply and Journey, dude, I thought I was playing the...
I spoke at a DJ exposition in Chicago about dollar dances because I have a different theory on it. And, dollar dances... You play a bunch of slow songs.
Right.
Well, that's like throwing a grenade on the dance floor. You play too many slow songs. So I would play Don't Worry, Be Happy. Right. If I had $1 million, things that you could sway, because the worst thing in the world would be during a wedding you got some stinky Uncle Jeff, that you're playing like belly rubbing music with. If you're playing, Margaritaville or Brown Eyed Girl or something like that, it's easier to sway. Okay, tap tap tap, give me your dollar, get out of here. So that was my philosophy on it, and it kind of took. And I always played that kind of music for dollar dance.
And I love it. Every one of us has a niche, and I'd like to look back at all the bride and grooms of the wedding receptions that we've done. They can look back and reflect on it and say, man, that was awesome because you catered to people all theirs.
The time. I'm umpiring a game like, hey, my dad told me that you were his our wedding, and I was like, holy cow, the kid's like a freshman in high school. And I'm like, I did your parents' wedding like 15 years ago. I'm getting old.
Well, no, did I hear that sometimes? Like, I remember, like, once you say remember, it's like, well, we're okay. That one's tough.
Yeah.
Only one last thing, so I could bring this up in case any other DJs are out there. One of my favorite things that I used to do is, I don't know if you did this or not, but you would ask all married couples to come to the dance
happy
floor.
Couples dance, yeah.
Right, and then was it Through the Years? I'd play that. And you would start announcing how many years and less, and then leave. And then say somebody was married for 50 years, I would have that couple and the bride and groom dance,
Yeah.
Man, I'm not coming out of retirement, Mike, okay? We got to get off the DJ talk. All right, so, one last thing, going back to baseball. Let's bring that up because you were talking about it. In golf, they always say drive for show, putt for dough.
Yeah.
So on the commercial, listen, we love baseball. I know it's a Jesus podcast, but I just had that with my son where we're talking about everybody's all about velo. Get that radar gun, velo. So that's the show part. But if your kid's a really good pitcher, it's about control and about placement, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
I know it's a Jesus podcast.
We see all this stuff. The kids do throw downs over the winter or whatever, and this kid topped out, or he signed D1 this, and I'll get behind the plate thinking, cool, this kid's throwing mid-90s or whatever. First one to the backstop, next one in the dugout. Like, who cares if it's 95? You can't control it. But.
No, I feel a little selfish, everybody. Blake, that's for you, so I can have a pro up here to reiterate what I'm talking about. So as the clock winds down, Mike, we still got a little bit of time. Let me not necessarily put you on the spot because, like I said, I definitely believe you're an influential. So I'm just going to role play with you. Here's the biggest part of the podcast where I need your help.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there, and some of them are employees, some of the people, that we see from upon a distance, they're going through something. Now, I can't tell you what they're going through, whether it might be financial, whether it be relationship, or employment. But I can tell you this. They feel like there is no answer for them. They don't know how they're going to get out of this situation. Some of them don't even want to leave the house. If there's a way you could look to the camera, talk to our listeners, whether it's even something that you may do, what words of encouragement and inspiration to where you're speaking to someone who just feels, I got nowhere to go.
Right.
Can you give us some words of encouragement, or how can they?
I think that's where, like, your support team, and again, like, people think that I'm successful with this, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I got a good team around me. Danielle, my mom, my girlfriend, my daughter, they're great at what they do, so they're helping this newest business flourish. I'm just a figurehead, but it's them. So I think the people around you, I think something I personally do is, and I heard this or read this in a book in the last few months, is that if you there's a morsel of truth in every criticism. So somebody may say a weird baseball story. Last year, I had a kid that was wearing a two-piece mask. It's illegal in high school. They didn't have a backup. We had to make them forfeit in the bottom of the first. So this dad was all mad, drove by and threw a soda on my truck. And he yelled at the other umpire, knew his name, and he said, you're terrible, and so is your fat friend. And so from that story, I'll tell you, hey, I could lose some weight. I can. So I think if you take the humility of it and you listen to what people are saying or any kind of criticism about you, and you're honest with yourself, you can find a morsel of truth in there that you need to work on. And maybe you can head it off at the path before it gets to the point where you don't want to leave your house and it's whatever. So, that would be my piece of advice, is to listen to what people say, because anybody can hear people. I for a lot of years I had people around me that everything they told me, they tell me what I want to hear, and anybody could do that. I don't want people to tell me the truth. And a lot of people tell you what you want to hear. They won't tell you the truth or what you need to hear.
So that goes back to that word that I talk about, accountability.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, folks, I absolutely love that. That's where Mike's just sharing with you. Be accountable for whatever situation that you might be in. And where I'd like to add on to that, if you don't have that person to speak to, where Mike has that team, if you've never done it before, I don't want to say it's not a difficult process, because what's routine for me might be difficult for you, but I'm encouraging you. Put your phone down, go to the recliner, go to the chair, whether you do it in your car, and just take a moment. However you start this. Now, I'm just going to share with you, I start with Dear Heavenly Father. And then I just start rambling. Whatever it may be financial, it may be relationship, it may be work. And the only thing that I'm asking you, it doesn't have to be 5 seconds. Sometimes I'm in it for a minute because my subconscious says, I got to do this before I can start my day, because I got this You're Beautiful show and I'm telling everybody else to do it, so I need to do it.
Right.
But the reality is, it's just like any relationship. It's like the relationship with your business. You just don't open the doors and you expect things, right? You have to work at it.
Right.
If you have a significant other or your children, you just don't say, hey, I'm dad, hey, I'm hubby, and everything's okay. You have to work at it. And folks, where I'm going at with that's an intimate relationship with Jesus. He wants to know how great things are, and he's going to be as excited as how terrible things are. So all I'm asking you is create or reconnect this relationship with Jesus, because a better you can be a better person for other people. We have to be right in order to help people. The new places you open, by the way, Danielle, this is Rockstar, and I think it's Strawberry. But when you get things in place, listen, sometimes people move faster than others, some people are slower, but if you're heading in the right direction and you get your mind right, I think all of us can help anybody out there, right? We're about to get out of here. Is there you want to give any shout outs to anybody? Anything you want to do? You're good?
No, we kind of covered all the bases, I think.
Guys, I'm so tickled to have Mike Roper on the show. He's in downtown Wood River at Breeze.
Downtown West End is the name of it. Breeze Brew is the drinks.
Okay, downtown West End. Hey, stop in, get some coffee, get these energy drinks. Say hi. Give a hug. I know you're a hugger.
Yeah.
Hug. Whatever. Let's love on everybody out there. Hey, if you ever want to be a guest on the show You're Beautiful, where we just talk life and Jesus, I'm throwing it out there. Brian Trust, 618-530-7875. And Mike, there's a bright neon blue sign out there. Can you see what that sign says?
It says